If you are just joining us, this is the Sports Parliament. You can't afford to miss any part of today's show. Our main guest today is this goalkeeper who in 1981 was a very young man. Listen to this, my story, of parliamentarians. He was a young man. He was in goal for stationery stores. And stationery stores, you know that great Lagos team, they were doing very well at that time. He was, he just came up. And he was shining all over the place, and stores, they are so full of mouth.
Popular way.
Popular way. And I think stores were to qualify to be champions of the league in that year. They had one match to play, and that match was against Shooting Stars. It was to be played at the National Stadium. Instead of stores people to have come and say, I beg, make una just allow us. But this was a team, Shooting Stars, with Muda Lawal, Owolabi, all the great names. How could you people, Peter RUFAI, how could you people have thought in the world that you will defeat us without begging us? But that's what happened. That's what happened. That eventful day at the National Stadium, Muda Lawal went down, not the right flank, but the left flank, got to the goal line, just brought it out, and I just connected, and this Peter RUFAI just sprawled helplessly on the floor. That was the only goal of that match, and that's how stationery stores did not win the National League of that year. I have the greatest pleasure to welcome that victim of that goal. We played together in those days. When we were going out, he was coming in. But a true legend of African football, Peter RUFAI.
Dodo Mayana.
Dodo Mayana. Dodo Mayana.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes. And of course, sitting next to him, we describe him as a factional chairman of one of the supporters groups. The Nigeria football and other sports supporters group. I don't know if that is the one here. But our intention of bringing him on the program is that last week, the president of the Nigeria Football Federation was here, and we talked about going to the World Cup, and of course, the supporters are a very important part of the Super Eagles, as Peter RUFAI will testify, but there's crisis in that body. So we want to attempt today to see how we can start to resolve it. So, having said all of that, let's just take the next 2 minutes to watch this little clip about Peter RUFAI. Yeah, welcome back. That was Dodo Mayana playing against, I've forgotten that Italian player's name.
That's Argentina.
No, the first one was Italian. Then the second one was Maradona, of course. Played against Maradona. Well, again, welcome to our show. The first question before my parliamentarians come in is that Nigeria, we have comfortably qualified for the World Cup. Comfortably.
Yeah.
And from what we heard last week from the president of the Football Federation, Nigerians are going to this World Cup very, very confident that we are going to do well. But one thing that has kept us sleepless, disturbed our sleep, is that we don't have confidence in the goalkeepers now. There's been controversy, conversations about a goalkeeper. What do you think? Do we have, are the ones there good enough? What is happening? What is it about this goalkeeper thing now?
See, actually, thank you for that question. I look at the whole scenario as a situation of not really building while some of us, my likes, we are leaving the stage. You see, if we have taken it seriously with the structure, we would have by now be so confident, and the whole Nigeria would be saying, okay, this is our number one goalkeeper. Bearing in mind, national team is not a place where you walk in today as a player, you be in goal. The next match, another goalkeeper comes in, walks in, be in goal. The next, I know the national team as a place where when you go into a national team, you, first of all, before you are called into a national team, you must have proven
You are good enough.
you are good enough to be called up, called up first. Then, followed by coming to prove yourself when you get to the national team, for you to get the jersey. And before you get the jersey, by the time you pass through the hurdles and grab that jersey, before anybody will take that jersey from you. Look,
Before you got there, it was
Yeah.
hard. After you, Ikechukwu moved,
Yeah.
before he left, it was hard.
Exactly.
This Yama came
You
in,
know-
long time. That's the trend.
So
the
that
trend.
is what it should be. And by the time you get into that position, grab that jersey, come meet rain, come meet sun, come meet storm, you can't be pushed off. You'll be solid.
So where are we now?
Now, at this moment,
Going to the World Cup.
going to the World Cup, we are all jittering because we are not really sure. But personally, looking from what kind of draw has been doing recently, and the present goalkeeper we have seen in action in 2 matches, which is Francis Zoho, and his performance so far has, given us hope to some extent.
Okay.
Ikechukwu Ezenwa, to me, is a very beautiful goalkeeper. Clean goalkeeper. It's a goalkeeper who have proven. He has proven back home here. He has proven in, international matches. He went to Spain with the home base. Proving his quality as a good goalkeeper in Spain.
But he's injured now.
He's injured now. It's just unfortunate.
He's back.
You see, this is something,
He's back.
I believe the injury is not that tedious to keep him off totally. And this is where I reckon with the medical team. Because I remember my incident, if you permit me, before 94.
Don't go there. Don't go
you know.
there. yet.
Okay.
Let parliamentarians,
Yes.
have a say before we go back.
So,
Mr. Speaker, mine is not a question per se. I just want to corroborate Peter RUFAI's assertion. The national team is not a testing ground. It is where you expect you have the best legs in all departments of football to assemble. I think the problem we have with goalkeeping now is the manner in which Iyama was eased off from the national team. Because Peter RUFAI, Ikechukwu, they were eased out of the national team because they had capable replacements. They were going gradually, and there was a ready replacement. Even while they were active, they had somebody that was understudying them, was sharing the goalposts with them. So they left the scene, and the other goalkeeper took over. But the manner in which Iyama left the national team caused the problem we have now.
Agu.
Well, it's a pleasure speaking with you, Peter RUFAI, Dodo Mayana.
Mayana Dodo.
And we mustn't take anything for granted. He he was a major part of Nigeria's sports development. But my question is not on goalkeeping per se. The 1994 squad appeared to be the strongest squad we've ever taken to the World Cup. We got into the second round. We nearly went a bit further than that.
Yeah.
Please compare that squad with the current squad, and what is your opinion?
My opinion to the squad, there are a lot different. The difference of patriotism, the die-hard character, fight to finish, the discipline and unity in the team. What we have presently, we have talented young football players on individual basis, and in terms of character-wise, I think they can be matched to 94.
How are they better or are they worse? You don't hear any bad things about them and all of that?
No, so far no bad things about them. They are just very young lads, looking up to 12 in their
In your
field.
days, there was crisis every day.
In our days, there were crises due to all the incentives and bonuses and
We are not paid regularly.
They were not paid regularly. But this time around, the bonuses are on ground, even in advance, and the Nigerian Football Federation is even ready to give them these bonuses in advance. Not like in our own time when we need to wait and wait and wait until we had to fight till the bonuses will come. And the boys we have now, they are skillful. That's no doubt about that. There is motivation, and when there are motivation, you can't, give your life. You want to play, you see. So, but in our own time, the motivation was not because of the money. It was because of the passion, the patriotism, in us. So I think that is where we have the little difference, which I believe a psychologist can do a lot in the squad.
To help the squad.
To help the squad.
Okay, you are going to say something, about injury and so on. But something happened. I'm not sure when, whether it was before the World Cup or after the World Cup in 1994. But we were in England.
Yeah.
We were in England. And I think we have a clip. That clip is not really the clip of the injury. I'm not sure it is. But we have another clip of what happened after. So sit back and watch this. I don't know if you have ever seen it yourself, but sit back and watch this.
All right.